Why would that happen today of all days when I have an interview? Landing a remote job is no jokes, but it does create a domino effect that once you land your very first remote jobs, other remote jobs just keep coming. It's like it opens the way and they just keep flooding in. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how I landed my very first remote job. Welcome to Virtual Pro, a community of remote professionals interested in growth, professionalism, and excellence. Now let's backtrack a little, probably 4 years ago or 3 years ago. In 2022, I was working as a PR and communications executive. I really loved my job. I studied communications in school and it just felt like the perfect fit from what I studied and what I'm doing in real life. But the thing was, I needed a bit of flexibility. I'm an actor. With my previous jobs, I was able to act while working, but my communications job was really taxing. So even during the weekends, I'm trying to just think of how to improve the comms department and stuff like that. Instead of taking my time during the weekend to go for acting, I would stay at home. When I finish brainstorming on my own, I would just want to rest. No human communication because I go to work. I think it was about 9 to 6 as at that time. So I decided to quit to go for a 3-month acting course. And this course was at Ebony Life Creative Academy, which was the best, like one of the best 3 months of my life because I got to do what I loved. And it was just beautiful being in a place with other creatives. So after the 3-month course, just like every degree, they push you out into the labor markets, like go get your acting jobs, go do stuff and go explore the market. So after the course, I was getting acting gigs. Some of them paid for, some was collaboration and stuff like that. And I was now eating deep into my savings from my previous job. And I thought, oh, it would be nice to get another job. I started actively looking, but it wasn't my looking that yielded this first remote job. And at first, I was just applying blindly. Most of the jobs I knew how to apply for were actually physical jobs because that's what I had been doing before needing this remote job now. And I needed the remote job to be flexible enough for me to be able to take on acting roles. So I've been searching and searching. Then one morning, my friend saw a job vacancy in a WhatsApp group in Canada, and it was for a podcast producer and technician. I edit. I love editing, whether it's video or audio. It's just something I do for fun. So she sent it to me and I was like, okay, why not? There's no harm in trying, and I'm looking for a dollar-paying job. I sent in my application and I think the same day I got a response and I scheduled an interview for Tuesday the next week. Prepared for the interview, did my research, tried to listen to some of the podcasts from the company, and I went to the interview prepared, ready to like kill it. Guess what happens? My laptop refused responding. Like Zoom did not respond. I tried everything. My laptop completely shut down. Then the interviewer, which was the owner of the podcast presenter, reached out to me via email if we could connect on WhatsApp. I was like, praise God. I might be wrong, but you hardly meet a Nigerian employer that would offer you that grace based on you're supposed to be prepared, forgetting that, first of all, our networks, no matter how much network you have, sometimes it's not just reliable. You can have 5 networks and then all of them just decide not to pick up. For this one, it was not a network issue. It was my laptop. My laptop shut down completely. Like it packed up at that point. And Zoom wasn't working. Zoom uninstalled. There was so many errors. We tried Google Meet. It wasn't working. So she reached out to me if we could make a call via WhatsApp. And I tried WhatsApp and then the network issue. We couldn't hear each other. I was so angry. It was so frustrating because why would that happen today of all days when I have an interview? Oh my God. I sent an apology email stating that, oh, this, and I sent it on WhatsApp too because we're already communicating on WhatsApp. She was like, cool, would you like to reschedule for Thursday? I was like, what? This woman did not just ignore the fact that I had like crazy connection and laptop issues. She wanted to reschedule. So we rescheduled for Thursday. For Thursday, I did not want to take the chances. I reached out to one of my friends that was working in one of these big 5, what do they call them? the consulting big five companies I don't want to mention just in case. So I reached out to him and he was like, okay, I could come take the meeting in his office. I went to his office. I had reinstalled my Zoom. Everything was working. And because I wanted to be on my laptop when taking the meeting, not my phone, because the phone just looks unprofessional sometimes. And if you want to quickly get an information, it's easier to do that on a laptop than on a phone. So I went to the office, was ready, 15, 30 minutes ready, and I was just waiting. 10 minutes to the interview, when I was about to log in, I tried my Zoom again, and I cannot tell. See, I'm a Christian, and I just believe that was the devil's work, because I had used the laptop between Tuesday where it happened and Thursday, and it was working fine. I had tried Zoom that very day and it was working fine. But for some reason, it just froze. It came up with the errors, so many things. And right now, I can't even remember the details, but I tried in like reinstalling it, which it was installing. The network was faster in my friend's office. I think I used his laptop at the end of the day. And it was just so crazy because I was like, oh my God, I can't remember if I forgot my earpiece or something. It's just the most insane things. But he was able to give me there's this small cubicle corner where I actually speak out without distracting other people in the office. And it was towards the end of the day because of the time zone. The interviewer was on the Pacific time zone. I was on West African time zone. So we had the interview. It was really good. She asked me my skills, my previous experiences, how my vision aligns with the podcast, and what I could do to help the podcast. So it went on like that. And after the interview, she said she was going to get back to me. It happened that on Monday, was it Monday or Tuesday, was my birthday. And on that very day, I got my employment letter. I was like, yay! I was so excited. Oh my God. What was advertised in the vacancy was that they needed someone who could work 5 hours a week. And I was fine with that. Remember, I wanted something flexible that can just bring in a little bit of money while I find my footing in Nollywood. I was like, fine, 5 hours works. But when I got the offer letter, I was offered 15 hours per week, and I got $15 per hour, which was the minimum wage as at that time in Canada. I think $15.20 per hour, Canadian dollars, by the way. And it was good. So I started up, and so I started working remotely. And remember, I said if you start that first remote job, it feels like it creates this domino effect. So others started coming, and I did not work with other clients till about 8 months later, which was in 2023. And then I was speaking to somebody, my mentor, and she just recommended someone to me that was looking for a virtual assistant. And she was like, oh, Winnie is a virtual assistant. I had worked with her in 2020, and I worked with her in HR. I worked with her as a personal and executive assistant. So I was doing some kind of internship with her to learn the corporate way of working and just building structure. I did that with her, and she recommended me to this new person who immediately asked me to send in my rate card, send my services. Remember, I was working as a podcast producer and technician. So I wasn't actively working as a virtual assistant, but because of my experience in corporate, in communications, in admin, in HR, I knew I could work as a virtual assistant. So I did some research, prepared the skills I wanted to be offering. I did not want something that would keep me, my mind is still on Saturdays, I'm working. I did not want that. I created my rate card. After doing my research, I've done the video on creating your rate card on my channel, so you can check it out. So I created my rate card. I created the services I wanted to be offering to her. I sent it to her. It was like, okay, let's meet to discuss. I told her I was pretty flexible because I was new. Because I was new and I did not have that confidence to just bill a client. So I told her the prices were negotiable. She was like, no, let's meet. We had a meeting. We had an understanding. She gave me what she needed me to do. I was going to be working across 2 or 3 of her companies and just doing different things. But these things were under my standard plan. Remember, I sent a rate card. So in my rate card, I had the basic plan, I had the standard plan, and I had the premium plan. each of which had different prices, of course, and different services that were going to be offered. So we had the meeting, and she was like, okay, she would like to go with the service. So I drafted a contract. Remember, a contract is always important. No matter how much you know the person, you need to draft a contract so that you're clear everything. I drafted the contract. I sent it to her to sign. She signed. She sent it to me. I signed, and I let her know that, okay, this contract was going to be renewed on a monthly basis. She was like, okay, it's fine. So I started working with her, and we were renewing every month. Then came another remote job. So my mentor who had recommended me to this person recommended me to another client in the UK. And at that point, I was juggling 3 remote jobs. It was exciting because I got to work with someone in the Pacific time zone. I got to work with someone in the Eastern time zone, and someone that is sometimes in the West African time zone or Eastern time zone or anywhere in the world. So it was just so exciting for me because this first remote job just created that opening, and I have grown ever since. The very first job as a podcast technician with the clients then, and she saw my skills in administration, in communications, in project management, and she hired me to be her executive assistant, therefore increasing my pay per hour, increasing my hours. So I was able to earn more just working with that one client and delivering excellent service. But the client in the UK, it was a month contract, and I just worked with her for a month. My biggest lesson that I would say you should take from this video is it is possible to land a remote job in Nigeria, and Nigerians have been doing it, and it doesn't have to be in a tech field. It could be something like video editing. It could be something like project management. Right now I work with the very same client as a project manager and coordinator because my role has grown all the way from 2020 to now. We're in 2025. It's very possible to get a remote job in Nigeria. Just start small. What are the skills you have? What can you render to other people? I know everybody wants to like earn in dollar and stuff, but if you are not very confident in your skill, one thing I would advise you to do is to start by working with a client on a low pay. So it could be something 5 hours per week. You can start like that, build your confidence, work for a month or two, and eventually you get on to bigger gigs. So don't wait for just that one gig that will land you $500 at once. Start from something small. I see remote jobs now that offer to pay like $10 to $15 per hour. It might look small, especially when people are talking about, oh, they earn $50 per hour and all these huge figures. You might feel, oh, this is small. But have you tried your skills in that field? So just try working in the field, and it's going to be good from there. So we've come to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification. I'm so proud of my subscribers. You guys are making me proud. I have 60 subscribers now on YouTube, and I know it may seem small, but it's actually so beautiful considering that I started growing this channel by saying I just want to give you guys information about remote work, corporate work, and those of us looking to be part of a community that is all about professionalism, excellence, and growth. And I think we're getting to that point. So don't forget to share this channel with someone. Let me know if you need more story times about my work. Have a great day. Bye.